I am going to go through my 50 state final prediction. As you can see here, I've already got a map together. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through what I have already here and why I think that's just kind of a quick, good starting place. So we have California, Oregon, and Washington, Nevada, New Mexico, Hawaii, Colorado, Nebraska second, Minnesota, Illinois, Virginia, DC, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, and all of its districts. And that is what I have for Biden, giving him 234 electoral votes. Everything I have for Trump is Alaska, Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, all its districts except for two, Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky, and West Virginia for Trump, giving him 125. So that leaves us with 9 states that are in play this election day. Those states are Arizona, Texas, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. So every single one of those states has produced a poll in the last 2 weeks showing Joe Biden in the lead. Some of them have flipped back to Trump. So I don't think that there's any way that he wins them all, but I do see several paths to victory. So let's start with Arizona. I see Arizona going to Biden. So that's going to be very close. Biden was well behind a couple of weeks ago. And within the last few weeks, he caught up. He took the lead from Trump. Trump took the lead back. It's been very much like within a couple of points, but astronaut Mark Kelly is up for Senate versus the Senate incumbent, Martha McSally. Kelly is very popular, so I think a combination of him and Biden plus big turnout in Maricopa County is going to pull Arizona across the line, probably 0 to 2% Biden. Texas, I think, is going to be a heartbreaker, but there's just so much energy there. So many more people voted early this year than in all of 2016. I think it's a state that really wants to go blue, but I think Governor Abbott, the Attorney General, and the Texas Supreme Court are going to be too much for this wave to overcome. I think Trump will take the state by 0 to 2%, but I think people are going to know that it's only a matter of time. Iowa is going to be another tough loss. I don't think Biden had as much of a chance here as people wanted him to think, but given that the polls were not tied often enough to get him up there, I just don't think it's going to happen. Senator Joni Ernst is up against Teresa Greenfield, and even though she totally whiffed a very Iowan question on soybeans and the cost of them, it doesn't seem to have affected her. It seems like she's going to just squeak by, and I'd say the same for the rest of the state, 0 to 2% Trump. Wisconsin is not going to be as close as people want to think, or at least as far as Trump supporters want to think. I don't really think that the two recent polls of 13% and 17% for Biden are really necessarily going to hold true, but I think he's going to win it by a pretty decent margin. Trump's been here a lot, has just not been able to make the needle move, and he's even started withdrawing ads and kind of focusing more on Pennsylvania. So I don't think anything's going on with Wisconsin. I think it's going to go comfortably Biden. We may even see it on election night. Michigan is another one that I don't think is going to be close. So I think that one's going to be pretty comfortable. There's going to be a lot of craziness on election day because of all of the militias and that kind of stuff. But with the early voting, I think that Michigan is going to go comfortably blue, and it should be called on election day as well. Ohio is going to be a big deal. Most polls have shown the race as a startup, but I think it will go just barely for Trump. I wouldn't be surprised to see it flip, but I just haven't seen the energy there. People say Ohio has gone with the winner of the election for decades, but I see them breaking their streak this election. The movement just looks like it's in the right direction, and if this election were a week later, maybe he could pull it out, but I don't think he's going to pull it out this time. I just don't see enough time for those trends to move. So 0 to 2% Trump. Florida is going to call it early. I just know it. This may be the state I'm the least sure on. I like Biden's numbers. He's pulled up over the last few weeks, and that makes me excited. He's led by over 5%, but it's very tough. Trump supporters are crowing about Biden's lack of support from the Hispanic and Latino population, though he is leading among seniors. I think Biden is going to pull it off, but I wouldn't be surprised to see seniors break late for Trump and go with the known quantity. So I'm going to say 0 to 2% Biden. Georgia, I feel more confident on, and I could be totally wrong. I think this state was going to be the biggest state I miss if I miss them. The early voting and turnout has me excited. They almost beat their 2016 total. The energy to vote was everywhere. I think the population in Georgia is going to pull off a surprise. But with how much entrenched Trump support there is across the state, I would not be surprised to see that I just way overshot this one. So we'll see. But I'm going with 1 to 3% Biden. North Carolina, I think, is going to be comfortably Biden. It's been pretty solidly Democrat for a few years now. I'm going to put it in the leans. I don't think it'll be that comfortable a victory, but I think it's going to be a fairly comfortable victory. That's what we're going to see there. And that leaves Pennsylvania. So everyone says Pennsylvania is for all the marbles, but honestly, if Biden wins these other states, I mean, he's at 331, he doesn't need it. So I'm thinking that as much as we put everything into Pennsylvania, I think Biden is going to pull enough other states on election night that it doesn't go down to Pennsylvania, but I think it is still going to be leaning for Biden. I'm looking at about a 5% win there. I think they're going to call around Friday and not anywhere near election day. I don't think there's going to be an election day at all call on for them. So that's where I see that one. Obviously, there's a lot going on here. You're looking at 179 votes, so that would make either candidate, and so that's really a lot of stuff we were looking at. But I think at the end of the day, I think Biden's going to pull it off. I don't think he's going to win everything. I think we're going to see some real tough heartbreakers, but I think he's going to pull off enough, and I think he's going to pull off enough to win on election night. So that's what I see at me.